think what's different and special about this version of The Grinch is it is very loyal to the book, which is a very thin book, but it brings it into a world where you have a sort of endless amount of adventure around that, and tiny phrases in the book are catapulted into massive set pieces. The amount of energy, I'd say, makes this a very special version of it. The amount of visual invention and flair and freedom that the artists have had making this. I think just the whole kind of, the message of it as well is as powerful as it is in the book, but just wrapped up in a very wonderful, rich, modern way of making films of this sort. And it's mind-boggling. There's so much invention in every single frame of this, and a lot of comedy. I think everyone gets a vicarious thrill out of how the Grinch behaves, the curmudgeonliness of the guy, how the sort of over-saccharine and overblown and overproduced and over-magnified elements of festivities around Christmas or Thanksgiving can just be a bit too much. And he's funny. That's hopefully what's going to be memorable about this Grinch. He's very witty and he's self-aware, and there is, however many sizes too small his heart, there's a very strong beating heart to this. The voice, I mean, you know, to find who he was in character and experiment with that a lot and push it around, and you know, that was kind of key for me. The writing's pretty blissful, taking a lot from the book as well, and that sort of wonderful jam, that kind of poetry, that wonderful sort of riffing of rhyming couplets, and the kind of rhythm of that at certain moments in the story is really important to getting who he is. And I think really, you know, you understand in this film why he is the way he is, so understanding what that backstory is and what's motivating him. I mean, sort of the usual actor page one questions, I guess. Even if it is a green, fluffy guy who wants to steal Christmas and has a heart that's 2 sizes too small. Your first audience always, as an actor, is your director, and Scott was no exception to that. He was, if it tickled him, if it made him laugh, then I knew I was somewhere in the right ballpark. But my point is, if it made him giggle, then I knew we were getting something right. And then it was just about, yeah, keeping the ball up in the air and floating new ideas and pitching other angles on it and takes on it, and yeah, just keep working it. Illumination are great because they don't stop trying to plus things. They've got a great track record, of course. Their stable is filled to the rafters with fantastic films that they're great fun for all the family. They're witty, they're smart, they're moving, they're very entertaining, and there's goodness in them. And I think the fit here was the fact that they had great reverence for the original book, the original material, which I did too. And the minute I realised that, I was completely hooked into the idea of it. Seeing the artwork and speaking to Scott and the rest of the team and developing his character has been really, really good fun.